Yo, what's up ladies and gentlemen, JJ Prime here, back with another video, and in today's review we will be taking a look at the Transformers Siege Voyager class Megatron. Yes, another Megatron review, but who cares, but here he is in his mighty Cybertronian looking tank mode, and I think it definitely works. I think this tank mode really works. It's kind of like a H-tank deal here, but it definitely looks really good. And you're probably wondering, why am I reviewing this guy right now? Well, I'm reviewing this guy right now because Earthrise Voyager class Megatron is on his way. So once I get that, I will review it as well. So yeah. And in addition to the Earthrise Voyager class Megatron, I will be getting Studio Series Leadfoot and the Earthrise Voyager class Quintesson Judge first, because the Earthrise Wave 3 Deluxes, all four of them are not here yet. So yeah, only two of them are in stock. The two of them were, like, you know, not in stock. So unfortunately I can't get the 4 Deluxes yet. So once they arrive, all 4 Deluxes are in stock, then I'll get them along with the Double Crosser and the Earthrise Wave 3 Micromaster set, which would be the last one. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So here is the tank mode for Mr. Megatron, and yeah, like I said, it definitely works for me. And yeah, come underneath here, you can see how things work out right here. I don't really like his feet just sticking out at the back. I just wish they could, you know, Hasbro could find a way to flip in the feet somewhere, or just rotate them somewhere, you know, to keep the feet hidden. But it is okay. I mean, it's not really a big deal breaker, but it is what it is. And you can see his head is just visible right underneath the tank mode. Oh, and you can see his robot mode chest as well. So yeah, visible head syndrome and visible leg syndrome. But overall, I think this is a really well done tank mode. I think this tank mode definitely works better than the Titans Return version. And if you ask me, yes, I do have the Titans Return version. On that figure, I feel like the tank mode wasn't successful. The jet mode was successful. The robot mode was okay at best, but I think the mold definitely works better. The Titans Return Megatron mold, it works even better if it was Blitzwing. And they did make a Titans Return Blitzwing figure, but unfortunately I don't have that figure. But anyway, we're not talking about Blitzwing here. We're talking about Megatron right here. So you can see his big mofo cannon. That's a really cool cannon in my opinion. Got silver paint, got some red detailing right here. That's a really cool looking tank mode. Yeah, really nicely done. You can see all the scratches on his arms, on these things right here. You know, he has been through some battle. You know, he's been through a war. So yeah, it's a battle damaged Megatron. So definitely looks good. So he does have some rolling wheels underneath, so he can definitely roll. He rolls smoothly on smooth surfaces. That's really cool. So I'm going to bring down the camera a little bit so you can see the figure a little bit more. There we go. There we have that. So yeah, it's a really nicely done tank mode in my opinion. So for a quick size comparison with Siege Megatron, we are going to bring in 3 figures at once. So bring in the Studio Series version of Megatron, bring in the Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I nearly said Earthrise Starscream, but no, this is the Siege Voyager class Starscream. You can see how they scale with one another. So, and yeah, you can see like the movie Megatron in tank mode, and the Siege Megatron in tank mode, and you got the Earthrise Optimus Prime and the Siege Starscream comparing with Siege Megatron himself. So yeah, I think they look good together. In my opinion, they definitely look great together. So yeah, really cool, So there you have that. Okay, so we are pretty much done with the tank mode. He doesn't include any other accessory. I mean, he does include one, which is this thing that can actually untab and, you know, come out as a, you know, as a sword. So it's actually stored with the tank mode. It's supposed to go there in tank mode. So, you know, to finish the look of the tank mode. So, yeah. Oh, and you have your various ports for your effects bars or your battle masters or your weaponizers. If you want to combine this tank mode with those, you can do so if you want to. But yeah, overall, it's a nicely done tank mode. So I think it's time to get Megatron transformed into his robot mode, shall we? So what shall we start with? We shall start with pulling out this accessory. Now be careful. There's one instance that I've seen that this peg will definitely break off. Now, it will definitely break off if you don't pull it out. But if you try to bend it, then it will break. Because I have seen Alfonso's review of, unboxing of Siege Megatron, and he accidentally broke this. He accidentally broke this because he was trying to bend this to take it out, but no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to pull it out straight so that you won't break this post, unfortunately. But it's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I wish Hasbro could fix that, you know, because this post can be very fragile at some time. So we're gonna take this and put this off to the side for now, and we shall get started with transformation for Megatron. So the first thing I would like to do is take this section here, just want to unpeg everything right here, just unpeg that, and now I can just take the fist and just flip that out like so. Just flip that out and just rotate the cannon around so that it's proper. Okay, so I'll leave that for now. So now I can take this section right here and untab that and just slide this out like so, and just bring this out of the way and just fold this in, fold that in, and that will tab into place just like that. And just bring this forward and that will tab into place, and just bring the backpack all the way down just like so, and just bring out his head. I have a big problem with his head, but we will get into that in a little bit. Now take this piece and just flip this down, flip that down, and there we go. So now, what you want to do is you want to untab all this, just rotate this panel outwards, and just unfold the leg, and just straighten up the leg like so, and just close that up, flip out the foot, and you want to flip out the heel spur as well. So, there we have that, and we have a leg all done. So now we can take this other leg and do the same thing. So just rotate the panel out and just rotate his leg outwards and just straighten up the leg and just close up that panel, flip down his foot and flip out his heel spur until you hear it click into place. And there you have that. So, and now I can take this whole waist and rotate it 180. So let's get everything situated properly. Just bring his arms down, and once we're done, you get a very cool looking G1 Megatron in his robot mode. And yeah, it's a very G1-y Megatron. The one thing that I do not like on this figure is that his chest is a bit too wide, in my opinion. I mean, it's a good looking chest, but I feel like it's a bit too wide. It's a bit too I don't want to call him the FAT word, so it's a bit too chunky, too bulky here on the chest. But it is what it is. It's okay, because if I remember in G1, G1 Megatron he was not bulky. He was very slim, and this one is already inaccurate. So let's see what the Earthrise Megatron will come up with. So if the Earthrise Megatron is better than this, then of course. But I still wholeheartedly like this figure. I really dig the look of this guy. So we're gonna take a look at that head sculpt. So I'm gonna bring up the camera a little bit so you can see what his head sculpt looks like. There we have that. You have the regular bucket head for Megatron himself, because he's always a bucket head, except for maybe in the movies. You know, he's not even a bucket head in the movies. But yeah, overall, it's a really nicely done head sculpt. You have his black eyebrows, and he's supposed to have silver for the face. Looks nice. Got some scratches right there on the head. He's been through some battles against Optimus Prime. But yeah, so overall it's a nicely robot mode. It's a nice robot mode. And of course he has a big backpack, but it's just this, so it's okay. It's an okay backpack. Yeah. He does have his fusion cannon. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. I definitely like this Megatron. You do get more of the scratches in robot mode. So that's pretty cool. Even the battle scratches in the chest. Got some yellow, got some blue paint on the chest, Decepticon symbol on the chest, and that is pretty cool. I definitely like that. Got a little bit of red there on the sides, which he's supposed to have, I think. So, yeah. Now, as far as articulation goes, he has a ball joint on the head and can rotate left and right. Can't really rotate the full 360 because due to the way this piece is molded, so he can't really rotate the full 360. He can look up a little bit, can look down. Now the only problem I have with this figure is that the other problem I have with this figure is that sometimes you tend to push this head inside his chest, and that I don't like. I wish there was a way to keep this coming up, because if you do that, that's gonna reveal a gaping hole in his chest, so I do not like that, unfortunately. But I think the Earthrise Voyager class Megatron fixed that though, so we will take a look at the Earthrise Megatron once he arrives at my house. So yeah, now let's carry on with the articulation. The arms can rotate a full 360. They can move in and out. He does have a bicep swivel, an elbow joint about 90 degrees. Hands, there's no wrist swivel, but it can move inward due to transformation. And he does have a waist swivel. He does have leg movement, move back and forth, and move outwards as well. Can do the full splits. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have a knee bend, like so. Slightly under 90 degrees of bend. And he does have a pivot. Does he have a pivot at the foot? No, he doesn't. But he does have an ankle tiltage, but which doesn't really work for me, unfortunately, because as you can see, there is a, I don't know, there's like something, you know. So you can see that little piece right there. You can see that little section right here. I'm not sure you can see it, but there is something sticking out right there, and that kind of, you know, doesn't really help you with the ankle tiltage, but it sometimes does, but most of the time it does not allow you to bring this outward a little bit more. But I guess it's, yeah, well, yeah, but unfortunately for me it doesn't really work that well. So I wish if that wasn't there, that little tab wasn't there, just sticking out, then this ankle tiltage will be smoother, in my opinion. So yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work for me. But yeah, but he's pretty poseable in places. So yeah, he's really poseable. So now we can take his other weapon, this one. So we're gonna take this, and you can actually use this as another fusion cannon. So you can take this and just plug that into that port, like so. And he can have 2 fusion cannons if he wants to. Hey, he's Megatron. He can have 2 fusion cannons if he wants to. So, yeah. And I also forgot to mention that he does have some little posts all around his body. That's for the effects parts. You can actually take the effects parts and, you know, just play with the toy and, you know, pretend that he's getting shot at, or getting exploded at places like at the shins, at his shoulders. Or you can take the effects parts and plug it into the barrels of the cannons to make it look like, you know, he's, you know, firing something, he's blasting at something, he's shooting some Autobots. So that would be very cool, and for some reason my camera doesn't want to stay. So yeah, you can do that if you want to. Now, this has another purpose. It can be a fusion cannon, but it has another purpose. So you want to untap this, rotate it outward a little bit, and just rotate this around like so, and just bring this up, and this will tab in together, and this becomes his big mofo sword. Now you can actually store the sword at his back. There are 2 ports right there. He can, store the sword back there if you want, but he's supposed to hold it, so I give him the mighty sword. So there you go. He has his mighty sword, and I'm not sure whether he had the sword in the Siege cartoon. I guess he did have it at one episode or 1 or 2 episodes. I'm not so sure if he had it, but if my friend Sean Hawkins can tell me which episode he had the sword in, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. So yeah. So now, for a quick size comparison with Siege and Megatron, let us bring in our comparisons here. The Studio Series, Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. We got the Earthrise, Optimus Prime, and the Siege Starscream. And if you haven't missed out my mistake yesterday when I reviewed the Japanese repaint of Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, I actually accidentally called Optimus Prime Ultra Magnus. So Prime, I'm so sorry, I disrespected you. I'm very, very sorry, okay? Please forgive me. Please forgive me, okay? Please forgive me, okay? Alright. So here is Siege Megatron with his movie self, and his arch nemesis, and his loyal second in command, Starscream. And if I were to speak in my opinion, speak in my voice, I think definitely Megatron, Starscream, and Prime, definitely they look good together. And you can see how different movie Megatron and the G1 inspired Megatron, look together. And yeah, they definitely look very, very different. This one is a more traditional bucket head style, and this one is more like a, I don't know, like a monster alien type deal here. So yeah, but I think the figures look good together. I think they look great together. What do you think? Do you think, they should stay with this design, or they should change designs for Megatron very, very often? Because if you forget, in the movies, Megatron always changes his design, because in movie 1 he was a jet, in the second movie he was a tank, or maybe a flying tank, in the third movie he was a truck, fourth movie he was Galvatron, but still Megatron, again a truck, and then he became a jet mode in the fifth movie again. So yeah, he definitely changes a lot. And there are tons of Megatrons out there, like G1 Megatron, the movie Megatron, we got Armada Megatron, Energon Megatron, Cybertron Megatron, we got, the RID 2001 Megatron, the Beast Wars Megatron, Beast Machines Megatron even, and yeah, there's a lot of Megatrons. I'm not sure which Megatron I forget right now. Not RID 2015 Megatronus, no. That is not Megatron. Megatronus is a Prime, no, that's not Megatron. So, yeah, there's a lot of Megatrons, and I'm glad that I actually got this figure, because I'm definitely in love with this figure, except for the fact, I don't like the white chest and the head problem right here, the neck joint being a massive problem here, and also the ankle tilts that don't even work for me. Overall, I think this figure is really, really well done. But anyway, this is not the time to put on my final thoughts yet. It's the time to, to show you the comparisons with Siege Megatron. So, there you have that. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on Siege Voyager class Megatron, and yeah, I really, really love this figure. This figure looks amazing. As a G1 inspired Megatron, I think Hasbro did a really, really good job with this figure. It's a great mold, it's a fun toy to mess with, it's it's definitely really, really, really fun to enjoy. It's it's a good Megatron figure, and I guess that's why the Hasbro made use of this mold a couple of times, because they did make a 35th anniversary very cartoony looking Megatron from this mold, and of course they did a Generation Selects Generation 2 Megatron from this mold, and of course the Netflix Megatron with this mold. And with the Netflix Megatron you get a more shinier version of this mold, which looks really, really beautiful. In my opinion, I don't think the Netflix Megatron really works for me. I mean, it's more screen accurate to the one in the series itself, but I think this one definitely, you know, screams Megatron to me anyway, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. If you think, you know, the Netflix version is way better than this figure, hey, that is your opinion. You're entitled to your own opinion, and I do not have a problem with that. So, that being said, is this figure still worth buying and worth keeping in your collection? Of course it is. It's a really, really nicely done figure. The transformation is definitely not difficult. It's very simple, it's basic, but it's still a really, really well done Voyager class figure, in my opinion. Because, you know, Hasbro did a great job with these Siege and Earthrise figures, and now they're going to come up with the Kingdom Leader class Beast Wars Megatron, and I can't wait for that to come out, because I think that would look really, really gorgeous in my opinion. So yeah, really, really cool figure this one is. Oh yeah, definitely. So as far as ranking him from scale of 1 to 10, I still have a few nitpicks about this figure. That's all they are. They're nitpicks. I mean, the neck joint being too loose and not, you know, not really workable. The ankle tilts, they're not really workable for me, and the white chest. I feel like Megatron should be slimmer, so I'm just gonna give him maybe a rough 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I give him a 7.5 out of 10 because of the nitpicks that I just pointed out, and also the I mean, the designs were definitely very accurate to the one in the series, and I'm not sure if you heard that tune just now. I'm very sorry about that, but that was not my fault. Okay, that was not my fault. It was not entirely my fault, so do not blame me. Blame someone else who did that. And I'm not gonna tell you who did that, but I'm telling you. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking right now, so I'm just gonna end it off right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any future reviews of new upcoming figures and old figures. And you better hit that notification bell down below, man, so that you can't miss any notifications from my new videos, because you don't even know when my new videos will be released. So you need to turn on your notifications and hit that notification bell icon straight away after you're subscribed to the channel. So, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there you have the Transformers Siege Voyager class Megatron, and this is JJ Prime signing off. Peace out!